ESPN, celebrating our 10th season as your home for Major League Baseball.
Tonight on Wednesday Night Baseball, Derek Jeter and the Yankees look to regain the top spot in the AL East, but Nomar Garciaparra and the Red Sox have other ideas. Also ahead, Sammy Sosa looks to continue his home run tear when the Cubs battle Cliff Floyd and the Marlins. Later, Jeff Bagwell and the Stros put the NL's best record on the line against Kevin Brown and slugger Raul Mondesi. And the Big Mac attack, Mark McGwire and the Cardinals in San Diego taking on the Pods and Tony Gwynn. Wednesday Night Baseball. Well, tonight in Boston at Fenway, Derek Jeter will look to keep his impressive streak alive, the only player in the majors to reach base safely in every game that his team has played. That is the game most of you will see. Hi again, everybody. Trey Wingo here in the Baseball Tonight studios. Some of you will also see the Cubs and the Marlins. Plenty of day baseball, though, in the afternoon, including an epic day for offense in Colorado. Cincinnati scored 24 runs. They pounded out 28 hits. That matched a team record originally set in 1902. 7 Reds had at least 3 hits. Jeffrey Hammonds came in with no home runs. He had his first career 3-home run game. Meanwhile, San Francisco got by Arizona 8-3. Importantly here, Luis Gonzalez went 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts. His 30-game hitting streak is now a part of the past. Moving on, Atlanta got by Pittsburgh 7-3. The Pirates have lost 6 straight on the road. The Braves win their 4th straight. Brian Jordan hit his 3rd career grand slam, his first of the year. And Jose Canseco hit his major league leading 16th home run, but it wasn't enough as Texas got by Tampa Bay 7-6. Rafael Palmeiro had 2 homers. 11 of the 13 combined runs in this game came off home runs. A reminder, everything going on tonight in baseball, we'll update you here in the studio. Now we're out to the games, Yankees and the Red Sox, Cubs and Marlins.
ESPN Wednesday Night Baseball is brought to you by the BMW 3 Series. Everything your car does well, it does brilliantly. And by 1010-9000, America's Directory Assistance.
Welcome, everybody. Wednesday Night Baseball. Historic Fenway Park in Boston. It opened in 1912. The team, the New York Highlanders, played Boston. That team would become the New York Yankees. The rivalry continues tonight. Nomar Garciaparra and the Boston Red Sox. They are the team now in first place because they beat the Yankees in the opener last night. But for the New York Yankees, yesterday was a special day. Their manager, Joe Torre, 2 months away, prostate cancer returned. Don Zimmer's now the coach, and Torre's the manager. Hello, everybody. I'm Gary Thorne along with Ray Knight. Welcome to Fenway Park in Boston. And for the Boston Red Sox, yes, indeed, they are flying high. Ray, they're getting it done everywhere.
They really are. They're playing very solid on defense, not hitting any home runs, only 30 home runs, doing it with a lot of doubles. Offerman and Garciaparra, outstanding defense and great pitching. You're going to see here a 10-2 record in their last 12 ball games. Great earned run averages, 3.62, scoring almost 6.5 runs a game. So they're doing a lot of things well and not hitting a long ball.
Ray, the flip side of the coin, the New York Yankees, 7 games behind the pace they were on in a record-setting year last year. They're not getting it done.
No, they're not. They're making a lot of defensive errors, a lot of pitching problems on the ball club. Defensively and outfield, not really solid. Left field, not scoring any runs. And Posada's having a horrible time behind the plate, offensively and defensively. With Torre coming back, I think this ball club is going to make a big run here. They are still the best ball club in this division.
They still got all that talent. Let's take a look at our Rolling Rock starting lineup for the New York Yankees. Chuck Knobloch leads it off at second base for Knobloch. Very tough time here early in the season. Just 2 hits in his last 38 at-bats. Not so for Derek Jeter, the shortstop. He is red hot. Paul O'Neill will be in right field. Bertie Williams in center. Tito Martinez at first base. Chili Davis, designated hitter, also red hot. Shane Spencer platooning right now in left field. Jorge Posada will be doing the catching. And Scott Brocious starts at third base. And Ray Knight on the mound tonight. A special story for Boston.
Yeah, Brian Rose, minor league pitcher, only 5 appearances in the big leagues. Got called up, 7.30 earned run average, but pitching well in Pawtucket there with a 2.57 earned run average. A big kid, 6'4", 220 pounds, features a fastball around 90 miles an hour, fairly straight, big curveball, and a changeup.
So a very special night for him. This was a highly touted prospect for Boston, but he got injured last year, had elbow problems, bone chips. and missed virtually the entire season. Only 23, as you said, though. So the opportunity for him, and I asked Jimmy Williams, his manager, tonight, I said, look, what if he performs well? Has he got a chance to stay? And Williams said, yes.
Really?
You come up here and you play one day at a time. You take advantage of it. Hey, we're looking. You come out and perform well, who knows? So here he goes. Rose gets the start. He did appear earlier in a relief appearance, only once, though. And Chuck Knobloch is the leadoff batter, struggling with that 2 for 38. He got out of a big 0 for last night, picking up a hit late in the ball game, 1 for 4 in the opener. Boston won that ball game behind Pedro Martinez. That one to center field. Straight away, easy play. Hauled in by Darren Lewis. Knobloch retired. Rose gets the first out.
Defense for the Boston Red Sox tonight. See, Offerman there playing second base. They pretty much had him filled in as a first baseman when Mo Vaughn left. 4 errors and 20 starts at second base. A former shortstop with the Los Angeles Dodgers, doing a great job leading the American League in doubles with 18, and pretty much everything else is the same. They're switching at first base. Stanley, Veritek catching tonight.
1 down, nobody on. Rose would love to just rock through this first inning against the Yankees. Won't here. Base hit. Jeter's got a 14-game hit streak. Didn't take long. Derek Jeter at 2 for 4 last night, starts out with a single the other way off Rose.
Derek Jeter stays inside the baseball so well. Here's a first pitch, first time he's seen the man. The best way to approach it, think right center field. There's the ball, the inside part of the plate, pulls his hands in and drives the ball hard the opposite way. Watch how he stays inside that ball, stays behind it, and hits a line drive to right field. He does not try to pull the ball. Great breaking ball hitter.
Third best average in the American League coming into today's play for Derek Jeter, and he just upped it right there. He'll be held at first base. Mike Stanley, former teammate with the Yankees, playing first, and Paul O'Neill up. O'Neill 1 for 5, 4-game hit streak for O'Neill, and the pitch is taken down low for a ball.
And I wouldn't be surprised, Gary, if Joe Torre starts off really quickly and trying to ignite this ball club by running Jeter here early in the ball game. Joe is a very aggressive manager. The Yankees last year stole a lot of bases, and he had a lot of people on their own. But I would not be surprised if, with this club struggling, that he gets Derek going pretty early.
Yankees have lost 6 of their last 7. Rose will step off and look. Jeter has stolen 4 bases, has been caught twice, 4 for 6. Veritek doing the catching, has thrown out 14 of 44, 68% success rate against Veritek behind the plate, and Rose will throw over. Of course, because the Yankees have not seen 23-year-old Brian Rose, they've got to get a look. Veritek also, in calling the game, has got to figure out what the best pitches are for Rose to throw here tonight. And the runners, well, they're going to have to measure the move of Brian Rose. Jeter's trying to extend the lead a little at first base. Fastball towards second base. Offerman, nice pickup, nice play. Had no chance at second, but gets O'Neill for the second out.
Great play by Offerman right here. O'Neill hits his ball very sharply, but right into the grass. It's very wet here. A little bit of rain early this morning. You hit the ball in that grass, it slows the ball down, enables the infield to have another 6 or 8 feet of range. Offerman making the play, but that ball was hit very hard.
Ray, here's where the Yankees have struggled mightily. They were 1 for 11 with runners in scoring position last night. They weren't able to pick up a big hit. They stranded 15 in the ball game. So here they go again. They've got the man they want at the plate, Bernie Williams, 5-game hit streak. They've got Jeter at second base with good speed. And Williams up to try and get an RBI off Rose with 2 down and a strike taken.
Well, last year this ball club drove in everything that was out there. Hit right around 300 as a team with runners in scoring position. Bernie Williams there you see off to a pretty decent start. Obviously average power-wise, just 4 home runs, a little slow for him. But last year, if you recall, went a long stretch without hitting any home runs and got hot in August.
That one drilled and fouled down the line in right. I thought an interesting point was made by Joe Torre tonight before the game, talking with him, Ray. Joe said, look, last year, let's face it, a lot of the bounces went our way. We got all the breaks. And Joe said, now it's not happening. So the guys have to learn again to grind through some of these games, and they're not used to doing that.
Well, it's like Sparky Anderson used to say, when the Reds won the pennant 75-76, 77 spring training, it was like they just felt they were going to win, and you don't turn it on and off. Like a water spigot, it doesn't matter how good your ball club is. When you lose a Roger Clemens and a Nelson in the bullpen, and you have, no production in left field, the bench is very thin here. This ball club, as you look at Chili Davis, who's done a great job DHing, this is a very thin bench. Last year, the Yankees had all kind of options on that bench. This year, not so.
1 ball, 2 strike count. Rose with a runner at second base. Williams takes a strike, and he's gone. So Brian Rose, making his first start, second appearance this year in Boston, called up from AAA today, retires the Yankees with a runner at second. Yankees retired just 9 pitches, Brian Rose, in that first inning to set the Yankees down. Jimmy Williams, Boston Red Sox, a half game up on the Yankees, 22-16. Their record in his 3rd season as the skipper here in Boston, coming from a coach's slot with Bobby Cox in Atlanta. Let's take a look at the Rolling Rock lineup. For Boston, it'll be Jose Offerman leading it off. John Valentin batting second. Jefferson's got the DH role tonight. Nomar Garcia-Parrott short. Man, oh man, what a season. You see the 16 games in May and a .368 batting average, homers and RBIs to go with it. Troy O'Leary, Mike Stanley, Jason Varitek, Darren Lewis, and Trot Nixon finish out the Red Sox lineup.
Number 30.
On the mound, Hideki Irabu, 6'4", 240 pounds, 29 years old, has been battling a fundamental problem with his hips. Talked to Mel Stottlemyre before the game, and he's not been setting up over the rubber, been firing off the rubber. As a result, a lot of pitches high. He's worked on him to try to keep him on the rubber, to have more of a hip swing, to tuck his knee a little bit more, and land on his toe as opposed to his heel.
And Irabu to Offerman, misses down low with that one and falls, evens the count up, rather. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Irabu throws a lot of fly balls, was 4th in the American League last year in fly balls per inning. So if he doesn't get the ball down, you see a lot of home runs off this guy, and we're going to look for the ball down tonight.
That one towards second. Knobloch off his glove. It'll be an infield hit. So Offerman continues to do far more than anyone anticipated with this Red Sox team, and he's on again.
Look at the Yankee defense. Pretty much the same. Left field, they've kind of had a rotating deal out there with Spencer and Ledee down in minor leagues. O'Neill in right field made a great job last night. Who had a guy at the plate. Posada catching, struggling back there, struggling to catch the ball.
Paul O'Neill with a big arm out there in right field. And Offerman, who will steal a base, is on at first. Offerman now has 52 hits in the leadoff spot. 3rd most in the majors. And of course, before the season started, it was he and Mo Vaughn, the comparison going on, and how could he ever do anything here? He's done it. Long way to go, but he's done it so far. Strike taken by Valentin. Valentin getting back in the lineup. He had been out of the lineup. He'd been playing at 3rd base, of course, on a regular basis. Injury kept him out. Appears a pinch hit role over the last week, getting back for the first time. And now John Valentin back in the lineup. That'll help Boston again. That's going to be down the line. Paul O'Neill over, won't have a play. Offerman will make the turn and go to 3rd, and the Red Sox off Irabu have runners at the corners. Nobody out.
What you're going to find with this Boston ball club, a lot of contact, a lot of off-field hitters all the way throughout the lineup. Almost everybody in this ball club, except for Mike Stanley, hits the ball the other way extremely well. They live and die by making contact. Talked about Offerman leading the league in doubles. They're last in the league, next to last behind Minnesota in home runs, only 30 home runs, but make a lot of contact, not a lot of speed. But when you make contact and get a lot of base hits, hitting 285, 4th in the American League.
Irabu gets the strike on, designated hitter. Reggie Jefferson at the plate with 2 on and nobody out. He's put up good numbers. 3 home runs, 10 RBIs included with that .323 batting average for Reggie Jefferson, as the Red Sox as a team 4th best in the American League in batting average. Irabu struggles early. Breaking ball gets by, down to second base. Will go Valentin. That wipes out a potential ground ball double play. We'll have to wait on the call on that one. That could be a pass ball on Jorge Posada.
Well, he's had a terrible time talking to the coaches, terrible time catching the ball. This ball is just a breaking ball that he's real slow with his feet getting over there. Watch how the ball bounces and kicks back on him, and instead of getting down with his chest square to home plate, knocking the ball in front of him, he gets a little angular and the ball goes off and runner advances.
It will be a wild pitch. It bounced in the dirt first. Now 2 in scoring position. Jefferson here in the first inning with a big chance. Jefferson hitting .278 with runners in scoring position for Boston. They've got a chance to jump on Hideki Arabu, and that's what they need to do in this game, because Joe Torre said the one thing Arabu hasn't got right now is confidence. He needs to get another couple of good games under his belt to feel confident again, and he's not. 2-1. At a chopper. Runner will come home. Play by Knobloch will go to first. RBI for Jefferson. Offerman scores, and the Red Sox have a 1-0 lead. Valentin goes to third with 1 away.
Still great baseball, Gary, because you get the runner over to third, you get the runner in, you have the infield back. And what a lot of hitting coaches will tell you, whether you're right or left-handed, is to hit that ball to the second baseman. It scores a run with the infield back and advances the runner, gives them a chance to have a big inning.
Kind of surprised right here, Ray. The infield has been drawn in on Nomar Garcia-Pera with Valentin at third base.
This is hard for me to believe. This early in the ball game, you're just creating so many holes, and generally early in the game, you don't play your infield in.
Unless they're going to pitch around him and not give him anything to hit. Posada's going to go out to talk with Arabu now. I mean, Garcia-Pera's got he's one of the hottest hitters in the game, 9th best average, their RBI man.
Well, what this tells you is Yankees have no confidence in scoring runs right now. They're facing a young pitcher in Brian Rose, and obviously Pedro Martinez isn't on the mound tonight, so you don't expect that one run is going to beat you. And this is Joe Torre thinking that one run is a lot of runs, and that's not any runs at all here in Boston.
Garcia-Pera may work right here. Jeter holds the runner, makes the throw just in time. Jeter had to look to Valentin twice because Valentin started to break towards home, and it almost cost Jeter the out at first base.
Well, I've seen this twice with the Yankees infield, and this may be what Joe Torre sees all the time. You are supposed to send the runner with 1 out. You go on contact with 1 out. On a ball like that, you go on contact if you have speed at third. If you're dead out at the plate, you stop, you get a run down with your batter, now runner, and you don't lose the runner in scoring position. But that's 2 times we've seen the Yankees play the infield in and the opposition not run with 1 out.
So Joe Torre, that's why he's managing. Against Garcia-Pera, gets the out, doesn't cost him a run. Now there are 2 down. Valentin on at third base, and O'Leary with a 4-game hit streak against Arabu. Pitch is inside to him. 1 ball, 1 strike count.
A lot of things, too, happen when you manage against managers. You have to know their tendencies. When I managed Davey Johnson, Sparky Anderson, with a runner on third base, 1 out.
That one's a base hit. Big 2-out hit. Troy O'Leary. Valentin scores, and the Red Sox lead it 2-0. 25 runs batted in now for O'Leary, who takes the RBI second on the team rather than Garcia-Pera.
Well, again, right back up the middle, not trying to pull the ball, not trying to do too much, staying right on that baseball, and you're going to see a lot of balls go up the middle in the opposite way with this Boston Red Sox team.
So a 2-0 lead. Those are the kind of hits that win you ball games with 2 down. Runners in scoring position. Grounded towards the middle. Jeter over. Force at second. Goes to Knobloch. And Stanley hits into the fielder's choice. But the Red Sox come up with a couple of runs on 3 hits. They leave 1 base runner on, and Arabu and the Yankees are down 2-0.
Trey Wingo in the Baseball Tonight studios with you. Sammy Sosa had been 0 for 5 with 4 Ks against Jesus Sanchez until in the first inning, his 3rd homer in 2 days. He now has 12 on the season, a 3-run shot. If that wasn't enough, 2 batters later, Henry Rodriguez strikes a pose. 4-0 Cubs, and Jesus Sanchez out in the first inning. Gary and Ray, back to you.
Great, thank you. And Sammy's 12 now. Raul Mondesi started the day leading the National League with 14. Matt Williams, 13. Jay Bell, the big surprise home run hitter so far, 13. And then Sammy Sosa, fourth with a dozen. Here, the Red Sox have the 2-0 lead. And Brian Rose going to work against Martinez, Davis, and Spencer. Tito Martinez, 3 for 4 in the ball game last night, 4-game hit streak. And a .281 batting average for the Yankee first baseman. Rose comes with a fastball and gets the strike.
Watching that Marlins game, they've lost 11 in a row at home.
What a struggle, huh? And they've lost their manager, John Bull.
What a shame.
Go up for back surgery and a disc. Popped up foul. There'll be no play there. Now the Marlins, long way to go. Build themselves back to a major league caliber team. Tito Martinez. Bat's been a little bit slow for him, but there's nothing wrong with a .281 batting average. These Yankees, 8th in average and 9th in runs in the league right now because of the spell they've been in. Center field, it's playable. Lewis got plenty of room out there, and he'll haul it in. Martinez, the first out here in the second inning.
Batting 6, number 45, the designated hitter.
See where the Yankees, compared to last year, where they were one in just about every offensive category. 8th in average, runs scored, 8th, home runs, 10th for the Yankees. And they're 7th in ERA, too. Both ends of it.
Yeah, the only player that they felt, the Yankees, that had a career year was Scott Brocious.
Career year, Chili Davis, base hit, 40 years old, pound them out. 8th best batting average in the league, and he's on with the second hit off Rose, a one-out single here in the second inning. Just take the ball the other way.
Well, Rose has a very straight fastball, and that's what I've seen tonight. You should see a lot of line drives off of him. If you don't have movement on that ball, they're going to start hitting the ball all over the park. Not very many people have seen him. He's not overpowering, 89 miles an hour so far on the gun. And Chile just taking the ball the other way, but you don't throw the ball straight without velocity in any league and not get rat-a-tatted throughout the ballpark. And, you know, I was going to make a comment. I have not seen too many pitchers come straight up from AAA young and have good outings.
Shane Spencer, first ball hitting left field. O'Leary. They're all sitting on dead red and getting fastball. Spencer, second out.
A little out in front of his fastball, though. I think from the side, sometimes it looks like a guy's throwing really hard, and when you get up there you see him hitting the ball down on the end of his back, popping the ball up. But one time through the lineup, as you see Rose react, there, just point his finger at Garciaparra. All he did was catch the ball back from the outfield.
He's thrown 5 of 7 first pitch strikes, so the Yankees know that already, so they're coming up ready to go at it. Spencer playing left field tonight in the, not platoon, but in the search for a left fielder for the Yankees. He's the second out. Jorge Posada. Posada batting just 189. 1 for 5 in the opener last night. Fouls the first pitch back. Tell you a little more about Rose. He's out of New Bedford, Massachusetts. The reason the Red Sox so high on him, he had great numbers in high school where he pitched, and then in the International League in '97, he came away with 17 wins, the most of all minor league pitchers in baseball in 1997. He was named both the MVP and Rookie of the Year and the All-Star pitcher in the International League all in the same year. Then, as we said, he got injured last year. He came up with Boston last year and had a 1-4 record in 8 starts. They are still very high on him, and he's been called up from Pawtucket today to fill in at Pawtucket. He had had a complete game victory in his last start. A 1-1 and a strike on the outside corner. 1-2.
Jorge Posada has had a lot of trouble handling the ball out away from him. As a result, he's moved right on top of the plate. His hands are actually out over the strike zone trying to get to the ball on the outside part of the plate. Everybody's been throwing him away. He's got a quick bat inside, has not hit the ball at all. From the left side, as you mentioned, he's hitting 188, but just 167 and 60 at-bats, punching out 24 times. Most of those on pitches away that he's pulled off of. Chris Chambliss moving him up on the plate, trying to have a little bit more plate coverage.
Joe Torre saying he'd sat down and talked with the young catcher. Said, I feel he's just making the mistakes that young players do. He's fighting it right now and feeling down on himself. So he said, I just sat down with him, said, look, I've still got confidence in you. I know you're going to be all right. Now you got to know that. Just go out there and play. Take it on a day-to-day and don't get down.
Well, that's what as we talked about in our open, Joe Torre has been through the war as a great hitter. And when you look at this Yankee staff with Torre, Chambliss, Willie Randolph, all outstanding hitters, very patient hitters. And we talked about last year just over and over and over again as you look at Chris Chambliss about the patience of this Yankee ball club. And thus far tonight, we've already seen 4 hitters swing at the first pitch. So that's a sign of struggle, a sign of not feeling good, a sign of not feeling like you can make contact with 2 strikes.
2-ball, 2-strike count here. Davis at first, 2 down. And that one hit off the fist. O'Leary, the left fielder. That'll do it. So Rose works through the first 2. No runs, a base hit, 1 left on here. Red Sox coming up in the second with a 2-0 lead.
Trey Wingo in the Baseball Tonight studios. The Orioles and Cal Ripken going for their 6th straight win at home. This will help. Cal gone his 2nd of the year. The O's up 1-0. However, in the 3rd, Randy Velarde up Scott Erickson. A 3-run homer is 4th. Erickson still looking for his 1st win at home this year. Orioles down 3-2. Gary, back to you.
Great, thanks very much. And the Red Sox are leading it here by a score of 2-0. Hideki Arabo, Veritek, Lewis, and Nixon do up bottom 3rd of the order for Boston. Jason Veritek's going to get to do some catching. Scott Hatterberg has been placed on the disabled list, 15-day DL. He's got an elbow strain, and it may be serious enough to require surgery. They don't know yet. Mandy Romero, acquired from Pawtucket, is up. So they actually had 2 call-ups here. They had to bring Rose up to pitch tonight. And the backup catcher, Mandy Romero, is with the Red Sox. Kip Gross was put on the DL today. He's got a pinky finger that's broken, and they say he's been playing with it, but the relief pitcher's on the DL to make room for Rose. So Veritek will get most of the starts behind the plate now, depending on how long Hatterberg is out. If Hatterberg has an operation, Red Sox may have to go looking for help. Deep right field. O'Neill's going to look. No help here. Goodbye home run. Veritek. Second home run of the year. 1 right-handed, 1 left-handed.
Number 3, the center fielder, Darren Lewis.
And a 3-0 lead, and as Ray Knight said earlier, Hideki Arabu, always bothered by the home run ball. He's given up 7 this year. Strike to Lewis.
Well, Hideki last year was throwing the ball about 95 miles an hour on good nights. When he starts throwing 88 as he is tonight, he's going to get hammered again. That straight fastball and the ball up around thigh high. Hanging breaking ball. There's a breaking ball with not a lot of rotation on it, hanging up there high in the strike zone. You cannot pitch up unless you throw 94, 95 miles an hour and then have a breaking ball to get you off the fastball. You just cannot do it.
Arabu with a 2-strike count. And a ground at a Knobloch. They'll make the running flip to Tito Martinez, and Lewis retired. 1 away here in the second. 3-0 Red Sox now.
Look at the pitch here. He sets up inside. He comes right down the heart, but look at the ball. Fading away, up around, belt high. Watch the glove go up to catch the ball. Anytime that happens, you've got to have sink on the fastball, or you got to have explosiveness. If you have the ball up, see you, 400 feet. 420, 430.
Yeah, out of here.
Way out of here.
And the strike taken by Trot Nixon, the right fielder. Jason Veritek delivering the 2nd home run of the season. What a way to kick it off, knowing you're going to be the regular catcher now in a situation where there had been a platoon worked. Breaking ball, that'll miss. 1 ball, 1 strike in the off-speed delivery to Nixon. Well, the Red Sox jumping on Hideki Arabu. Arabu lost his only appearance against the Red Sox ever last year. That one on the off-speed pitch to Knobloch at second base. 2 down.
And what I can see already, Gary, is with Arabu, his body's still flying way out in front, and he's lagging with his arm, and as a result, leaving the ball up in the strike zone. It's just like throwing darts. If you just flip the thing up there, it's going to stay high, but you've got to be able to extend, stay over the rubber, and get your arm angle where your hand is above the ball. And right now, he's dropping down with his arm, with his hand angle, not his arm. His arm is up, but his hand angle is down, and that's causing the... We're going to look right after this pitch.
Offerman with 2 down, up the middle, and into center field. Mercy. He is 2 for 2. 2 singles in the ball game, and Offerman's on again with 2 down. So he continues hot, and Arabu continues to get touch up. That's 5 hits now off Hideki Arabu. We're only in the second.
Yeah, no pitch has been down, and can't belabor that point enough, because a pitcher, he's a fastball changeup pitcher, is what he is, split finger. And you throw the fastball up in the strike zone with velocity, and then you throw the split finger that appears to be a fastball, and it's in the dirt. But watch how he starts there and he gets way forward of the ball, and he ends up standing up. There's no completion to his delivery. He's just standing up. It's just like throwing, you know, from shortstop. He should be touching the ground with his hand, and he's standing straight up.
That one popped up by John Valentin. Knobloch at second base. And he'll put it away. So Valentin ends the inning, but Varitek with his second home run of the season off Hideki Arabu, leading the inning off. With that smash has given the Red Sox a 3-0 lead. Welcome back to Fenway. Scott Brocious going after the first delivery from Brian Rose for a strike. Brocious batting in the number 9 spot. Varitek helping his battery mate out with a home run in the last inning. Young catcher, Red Sox like a lot, Jason Varitek. Rose striking the outside corner with heat, 0-2.
You mentioned a little bit about Brian Rose and his 17 wins in '97. Last year, he was expected to make the starting rotation, and a lot of you baseball fans will remember out there was a controversy here in Boston because he was injured and they couldn't find anything wrong with him. And for a long time, they were questioning his toughness, and then they found bone spurs and a hairline fracture in his elbow. He had that operation, missed most of the season. And so he's up here, as you mentioned, Jimmy Williams giving him a shot.
Would love to see him come through. And Williams was quick today before the game, meeting with the press, to make the point about this kid's toughness. I thought it was kind of smile a bit. I mean, obviously it was done intentionally. Jimmy doesn't miss those things. He wanted to make sure everybody knew he thought this kid was willing to battle. There's a great off-speed breaking ball. Ray and I were talking between innings, wondering what he was going to throw as the other pitch to go with his fastball. Joe Torre back on the bench for the Yankees. Came back, of course, yesterday after out with a prostate cancer surgery. Stress leading to that when you're a manager?
You know, there's so much talk when, you know, you have a disease like this that stress is a big part of it. But again, I'm going to find out if I can manage it better. I think I can. But there was never a doubt I had to come back here to see. And, you know, future, you know, I'd like to believe I want to do this next year and the year after. But, again, I'm just going to take it as it comes a little bit of time.
Well, Gary, I never knew what stress was either until I managed those 2 years. And all of a sudden, my hair turned gray. It started falling out. I couldn't sleep at night. And it's just a 24-hour-a-day, 365-day out of the year job. And I made a bad mistake when I got the job in Cincinnati saying, hey, it's not that tough to manage. And I thought basically it was just handling, you know, 2.5 hours of a ball game, and all of a sudden, you know, managing that ball club in that situation, and really any ball club, the easiest thing you do is run the 2.5 hours of the game. So it's a difficult thing, and so much expected of you, and it's just a no-win situation, really, unless you are dominant like the Yankees were last year. Zimmer's been through it, and he'd much rather be right where he is right now.
21-15 under Zim, and they were in first place, and he was sure to tell Joe that. with a big smile on his face. A 2-ball, 1 strike count with 1 down, and that'll be fouled back by Chuck Knobloch. And that'll put Rose up on the board with a 2-2 count here on Knobloch. 0 for 1, 271 batting average, but as we said, 2 hits now in his last 39 at-bats. Leadoff man who gets on a lot, hit by a pitch. He's already up there again, hit by a pitch 8 times this season. He'll be right there, first or second in the league when the season's done in that department. Knobloch will take the timeout here with a 2-2 count.
A lot of that has to do with how he stays on the ball and hits the ball up the middle and right field. He sticks that right shoulder in and leads with that left elbow towards second base.
Rose with a 2-2 delivery. And that's going to be another. Offerman won't get to it, and a base hit. Just had enough on it to go through. So a 1-out single. Knobloch is on. Want to remind you, 3rd round in the chase for the Stanley Cup. On ESPN, it'll be the Colorado Avalanche going to Dallas to take on the Stars, the number 1 and 2 teams in the Western Conference. Kick it off on ESPN Saturday night at 7:30. For more, log on ESPN.com, part of the Go Network, go.com. ESPN will take you right through the Stanley Cup Finals. Runner on at first base. That is the 3rd hit off Brian Rose. Now Jeter, who's got one of the other ones, stands in. 1 down.
When you talk about this Red Sox staff with Brian Rose pitching, obviously you have Pedro Martinez, who's 2nd in the league behind David Cohn and earned run average, and 1st in wins with 8. But think how tough this staff may be if Ramon Martinez, Pedro's brother, gets healthy, and he's very close to being healthy. If Saberhagen comes back and throws the way that he can. They've got a couple of young pitchers. There's Ramon.
They got a chance.
They really do. They really do with pitching. And I don't think this offense is going to hold up. But defensively, they're solid, especially if Offerman continues to play well at second.
That one, a nub towards the mound. Rose looks to second, has to go to first. And he will get the out there. So Jeter retired, 1 away. We should note on Jeter as he heads back for that single that he picked up in the 1st inning. He is now the only major league player to have reached base in every game so far this season.
Yeah, there's that little changeup. You know, we have talked to different people. Joe Kerrigan, the pitching coach, Jimmy Williams, trying to find out exactly what Rose features, and they're really secretive with their information. They don't want to tell you a whole lot. We've not seen him. There's Joe Kerrigan, the fine pitching coach for the Red Sox. But we were told in the scouting report that he had a fastball, curveball, and changeup, and I've yet to see a curveball. I've seen something that looks like a cut fastball or a slider, and that pitch right there, again, looked like a cut fastball or a little slider. We're going to get a good look right there as he grips the ball there.
Paul O'Neill looking for an RBI. Won't get it here. Offerman and the Yankees continue to look for that elusive RBI base hit. Rose has set him down through the first 3 innings. 3 hits, no runs.
Trey Wingo in the Baseball Tonight studios. Expos trying to win back-to-back home games for the first time this season. This will help. Vlad Guerrero's 9th home run of the season ties it at 5. However, we should point out he also has 10 errors, so his home runs still haven't caught up to his errors. Gary, back to you.
Philly's playing some interesting baseball this year. Kurt Schilling, what a show he's putting on. He may be he's certainly one of the game's best pitchers.
There is no doubt about it.
Man, he can pitch. Jefferson, and he takes it to center. It's a shot, Adam ball. Williams will haul that one in. Reggie Jefferson retired. Nomar Garcia-Parra coming up. What a night he had, May 10 against Seattle. The 3rd Red Sox player to hit 2 grand slams in the same game. But he didn't stop there. Not only did he have the 2 grand slams, he ended up with 3 home runs in that ball game. And there they were. You think they weren't rocking here at Fenway for Nomar? They still are. He can play. He can just play. Hideki Arabu striking the inside corner with heat. Garcia-Parra grounded out first time up.
Over the last 3 or 4 years, it seems like Rodriguez has got most of the attention up in Seattle, and Garcia-Parra has come on strongly the last 2 years, and now they're talking about Jeter being the best shortstop in the American League. But I believe that if I had to make one choice, this is nothing against Derek Jeter or Rodriguez. This kid right here, just the way he goes out and plays every day, I just like the way he plays, and everybody has things about a player that they like. You know, that's why scouts pick different first-round choices. But he just goes out and watching him today taking ground balls. As they're voting for the All-Star team, it's going to be right here.
Who are you going to vote at short? Yes, we know.
Well, I just, you know, there is no doubt. I mean, you give me any of those three players, and I'll go out there and battle you every day. But and this is nothing against those other two guys, because I think Jeter's probably the best defensively. Rodriguez is the best offensively. I think this kid's the best all the way around.
Garcia-Parra, 25 years old, takes that one to right field. He's got another base hit. O'Neill will play it back in. Garcia-Parra, 4-game hit streak now. 9th best average in the league starting the day, and he's 1 for 2. He's on with 1 away.
And what you like about him is that he hits the ball all over the place. You saw those 3 home runs, 2 of them to right field, 1 of them right down the left field line. And that's a sign of a hitter that goes up there with an idea, looking for a ball in an area, and also a hitter that has the ability to drive the ball in a lot of locations. Some hitters can only hit the ball in, some hitters out. Some people are dead low ball hitters, as you saw Sammy Sosa in the game in Florida, where he hit that ball right off the ground. Dead low ball hitter, Sammy Sosa. He can hit other pitches too, but loves the ball down.
This is the Red Sox leading home run hitter right now. Troy O'Leary's got 8. Paul O'Neill, right field, has room. He'll haul that one in. Garcia-Parra goes back to first base, and O'Leary's retired. 2 down.
Number 24.
When he gets this pitch, he gets it a little in there, and that's that little cut fastball. And what happens, it gets a little bit in on the hands and down on the barrel of the bat near the label, takes the sting out of the ball and the carry out of the ball. You end up hitting a lot of warning track fly balls.
So Hideki Arabu gets a big out there. Now Stanley will hit into a fielder's choice with the runner at first, 2 down. And a fastball strike by Arabu. 6-game hit streak going for Mike Stanley. Delivered a home run. Ball game last night. He's got 3 homers, 20 RBIs. He's the man moving in at first base. With Mo Vaughn gone to California. Lead at first for Garcia-Parra, being held by Tino Martinez, and Arabu will step off. Sox have 6 hits in the ball game now off Hideki Arabu.
I mentioned Stanley being the only guy that really pulls the ball. Knobloch almost right up the middle, stationed about 8 feet off of second base there. Jeter in the hole, center fielder, not really rank pull, but playing him to pull. And in my opinion, O'Neill way too far down the right field line, because Stanley just didn't hit very many balls that way.
O'Neill's played it just about dead up.
Yeah, he has.
Right field. Arabu trying to work his way out of this inning. Red Sox got 2 in the first, 1 in the second. Veteran Mike Stanley at the plate swings through the heat, and it's a 1-ball, 2-strike count.
Starting to get the ball down. Arabu, that pitch there, fastball right below the knees. He'll be a lot more effective there if he's in a 90-91 mile an hour range. I'm just interested to see if his fastball velocity increases as the game goes on. Started at 88, now he's up to 91.
Runner goes, swung on and missed, and the tag out, he got him. First strikeout for Arabu. No runs, a base hit. 1 left on. When we come back, Bernie Williams will be leading it off for the Yankees, who are down 3-0.
First time he's been able to use that split.
ESPN Wednesday Night Baseball is brought to you by Killian's Irish Red, which reminds you one look says a lot.
Welcome back, everybody. What a beautiful night at Fenway Park. Gary Thorne, Ray Knight, and our crew. Red Sox leading it. Threat of rain all day, but it moved to the west and kind of went into New York City, then up and around the Boston area. There's hardly any breeze at all tonight. Very comfortable in the upper 60s. And a packed house on hand. There'll be over 34,000 probably. It'll actually be above capacity. here at Fenway Park tonight. Just jammed in a traditional rivalry, the Red Sox and the Yankees. Bernie Williams, first ball hitting center field. Oh, and Lewis is right there, and Williams is out of there, and he's 0 for 2. One away.
Well, Brian Rose, we talked about his fastball, but watch this. This is his changeup. The last 4 outs. Look how he grips deep into their 3-finger changeup. Goes down into the glove really deep. Looks like a fastball. And again, this ball is line drive. Look at the movement away. And now Bernie Williams has to reach for that ball. Again, taking the sting off of it. There is line, 3 1/3 innings, 3 hits, 2 strikeouts, just 35 pitches.
Jimmy Williams said to him, take the moment and enjoy it. That one hit in the air again, right center field, not deep, off the bat of Martinez, first ball hitting. Well, one thing we can say of this game is indicative. Brian Rose is a fly ball pitcher. And if he can keep it in the Meadowlands and center field here at Fenway, he'll be all right with that. 2 down.
Well, when you have that much difference between your fastball, his fastball is right around 90 and his changeup 75, 76, with the same motion with the movement on the changeup, then you can be effective with 2 pitches. I do believe his 3rd pitch is that slider that we've only seen 1 time.
Yep.
So he's basically been this effective with just 2 pitches, fastball, straight changeup.
That changeup, as you noted, though, looks like it's got some movement, Ray. Davis, who has a base hit, fouls that one off. He singled one of the 3 Yankee hits. There've been 3 singles off Rose. To join us late, Brian Rose making his first start, called up today from AAA by the Red Sox. And this 23-year-old who came up earlier in April, made 1 relief appearance. He's got a chance here if he puts on a performance tonight. The Red Sox would think about having him here with a big club. And the pitch is inside. Now that looked like that had a little movement down and in, cut fastball, little slider type pitch.
Really good spot to a left-hander is down and in off the plate, especially if the ball is cutting in to them. If you get that ball down and in and it doesn't move in, they'll just drop their hands and hit it out of the ballpark.
And again, a little off that pitch. Left field, O'Leary was very deep. He'll get under it, and that'll do it. So 3 fly ball outs, and Brian Rose looking like he's pitched 100 years. 5 pitches that inning to shut down the Yankees. The 1,821st meeting. Yankees and Red Sox. They were the Highlanders when the ballpark opened here in 1912. There had been a couple of rainouts. Red Sox won on a Tris Speaker hit in the first game played at Fenway. And this rivalry has gone on since, unabated, every year. Both in New York and Boston, when these teams meet, the crowds come out and the feeling is genuine and red hot. Jason Varitek takes the strike. Varitek delivered his 2nd home run. Switch hitter. Got it left-handed off Hideki Arabu, who's given up 7 on the year. 5 of the 7 hit by left-handers. Varitek takes that one up the middle. Kind of an inside-out swing. Base hit in front of Bernie Williams. So Varitek's 2 for 2. Leadoff single in the 4th.
Well, he comes in with a changeup here, and he just stays back. That ball's got great movement. That's actually a split finger. Arabu throws a split finger, and here the ball's down, and he gets a little bit more movement forward as you see his right leg land. So he is starting to bend over a little bit more. That was actually a good pitch and a good piece of hitting there.
Off the first base side, foul ball. Darren Lewis. Lewis grounded out his first time up. Varitek back to first. Darren Lewis might want to get suspended more often in a battle with the Indians. He got in a melee and a pile-up, kicked somebody. He got suspended for 3 games. He was hitting .218. Since coming off the suspension, he's batting .429. Get in a slump, kick somebody. Come back like a house of fire. Arabu's fastball is there. Strike 2 count.
And again, as the game gets deeper and Arabu gets more comfortable, his fastball's up to 92 miles an hour. He's starting to get the ball down. Looks like the Arabu now of last year to me, with a split finger and the fastball starting to get down in the strike zone.
Pretty good pop on that last pitch. That one's going to be a base hit in front of O'Neill. Varitek will make a turn, but he won't challenge that arm. Runners on at first and second. Lewis, a 6-game hit streak now with that single. 2 on, nobody out.
Well, there's 2 good pitches. There's nothing you can do about this. Good pitch, down and away, and just reached out and flipped to the right field. That's what the Red Sox have done. We talked about them hitting the ball the opposite way. We talked about a lot of contact, not a lot of power. Tonight, a home run by Varitek, but a lot of base hits, tough hitting. I mean, that is what has impressed me thus far this game, is the fact that they are hitting tough pitches for base hits. Those last 2 pitches are nasty pitches. 8 hits already.
Looking to bunt with nobody out and runners at first and second. Trot Nixon trying to move the runners up. He has 1 sacrifice so far. This is the number 9 hitter. Just a .217 batting average, who grounded out his first time up.
Well, you may see a wheel play in this situation, rotation where the shortstop covers third, because you believe that with a 9-hole hitter, they're going to bunt.
He does not show bunt. He had the Yankee infield thinking bunt, so Jimmy Williams gave him the hit. Fouls it off, strike 2. Well, that one didn't work because his man didn't get the ball in play.
Well, what you try to do here is stay out of a double play, and generally managers are thinking big inning, get the runners to second and third, stay out of the double play.
24-year-old Trot Nixon. Strike 3 called. Arabu came in on him. Look at the heat on that.
Yeah, 94 miles an hour, and you know, there's been a lot of talk about Arabu and the way he goes about his business. There you see a fastball splitting the middle of the plate, but 3 or 4 miles an hour faster than Trot has seen tonight. But the work ethic of Hideki was questioned early in his career. Last year seemed to get it righted.
Questioned again this year by the owner, George Steinbrenner.
Yes.
That he won't listen, that he won't take instruction.
He's hard-headed, that when you tell him something, he just wants to do it his way. And that's not going to work on a ball club like the Yankees. Eventually, if you're that stubborn, they'll get rid of you, because you have to do and be on their program.
Mel Stottlemyre, pitching coach for Torrey. Hit in the air, center field. Jose Offerman, has he done it again? At the wall! Williams timed it perfectly. Bernie Williams, Jose Offerman had gone 2 for 2 with 2 singles. Williams, Gold Glove type center fielder, hauled it in.
This is a very tough outfield to play here because of so many different angles. The wall, as you see him jump there, and I like to see outfielders jump away from the wall. A lot of times outfielders will get up into the wall, too close to the wall, and their jump will be impeded by the wall itself, because as they leave the ground, they're too close to the wall, their shoulder hits the wall, and they're not able to elevate. There, Williams finding the wall with his hand.
Perfect outfield play.
Perfect outfield.
That's the way it's done. So the Red Sox looking for a big hit. They got the first 2 on. Trot Nixon struck out looking. Offerman flies out on the great play, good play by Williams. And now John Valentin 1 for 2 at a single and a run scored in the first. Arabu's fastball is there. Arabu may have noticed the Yankee bullpen got up this inning after those first 2 hits. So he's got something to work on here to keep going. 13 pitches, all strikes this inning from Hideki Arabu. Mendoza's throwing started after that single by Lewis. 2 down. Tailed away, 1 ball, 2 strike count.
Now, and every fastball is 94 miles an hour, and the Yankee infield playing very deep. You see here with 2 outs, they're playing deep. First baseman almost on the grass, second baseman 1 step short of the grass, third baseman and shortstop deep, just making sure they can knock the ball down, keep the ball in play to prevent a run.
Arabu checks at second, and the 1-2. Missed with that one, a little high, maybe a little outside. 2-2.
I keep watching that gun, 95 miles an hour there, and as we mentioned, he started off the first 2 innings, nothing over 88 miles per hour. And to me, that's not preparation. You're not prepared when you come into the ball game throwing 88 miles an hour in the first inning, and you're throwing 95 in the fourth.
2-2 to Valentin away on the breaking ball, splitter, 3-2.
You know what I mean, Gary? You have to be able to be prepared to start that first inning as if it's your 4th or 5th inning.
Some of the Atlanta pitchers do that by throwing about double what most major league pitchers throw in the bullpen.
I don't think people throw enough in the bullpen nowadays. Everybody is so pitch conscious everybody be on the move here.
3-2, 2 down. Runners will go. 2 on. And it's foul off. Got a piece of Jorge Posada that time. Veritek at second. Darren Lewis at first. 2 down. Jorge Posada is going to regroup. Say a little prayer of thanksgiving for the creation of mass. He took that one right off the front of it. He wears the old cage type, not those new molded masks. 3-2 again. Runners go. That one in the air, right center field. Bernie Williams called on again. Williams back, reaching out, can't get it. Takes the hop off the wall. 2 runs will score. A 2 RBI double. John Valentin.
Designated hitter, Reggie Jefferson.
Fastball out over the plate. We talked about right center field, right field, and how these Red Sox hitters just hammer the ball that way. Valentin, great piece of hitting, driving the ball right there. Now, as Arabu watches, Joe Torre visits the mound.
And Arabu's been driven out of the ball game as he watched that fall in. So Hideki Arabo does not get the confidence type start he wanted. Red Sox 5 runs, 9 hits off him, and he's responsible.
This ESPN Sports Center update is brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light.
Well, plenty of hits this afternoon in the major leagues, but none for Arizona's Luis Gonzalez. His 30-game hitting streak comes to an end in San Francisco. However, Jeffrey Hammonds has his first 3-homer game as the Reds bang out 28 hits in a 24-12 romp over Colorado. And the Sixers and Pacers continue their playoff series. With a win, Indiana opens up a 2-0 series lead. Next Sports Center at 11 o'clock. For Sports Center Update, I'm Trey Wingo.
Boston Red Sox exploding with a 5-0 lead over the Yankees. Big 2-out hit by John Valentin for 2 RBIs.
Fastball drilled, as we said. Watch Valentin's reaction coming off of injury, being out a few days, limping still a little bit. But you tell me this Red Sox ball club isn't pumped up a little bit of choo-choo train there.
26 RBIs now for Valentin, who'd been out 3 games. That tender ankle, be back in and hitting 2 for 2 in this one. He's at second base. Reggie Jefferson against Ramiro Mendoza. Mendoza now working out of the bullpen for the Yankees. You see the numbers he's put up so far this season. His 9th appearance, 6 of them have been starts. Grounded down to first base. Tino Martinez bobbled, has time. Mendoza over, and that will do it. But the Red Sox have added 2 more runs here in the 4th inning. Do it on 3 hits. They leave 1, and they've got a 5-0 lead. The opener against the Yankees last night, 5-0 lead as we go to the 5th inning. Want to remind you, Saturday afternoon, ABC Sports brings you Sports Century. Greatest Coaches, presented by General Motors. Interviews, stories about some of the great legends like Knute Rockne, Vince Lombardi, and John Wooden. Saturday at 2 Eastern, ABC. Check your local listings. Gary Thorne, Ray Knight, and our crew. Joe Torre back. Lost the first game back last night to Boston. And losing this one 5-0 as the Red Sox continue red hot. And Rose has the off-speed breaking ball in for a strike to Spencer. Rose is throwing all strikes. There's one thing you got to like about pitchers in this day and age, or any day and age. If a guy will come out and throw strikes, you got a chance to be here. Fouled off.
Well, there's not a big league manager around that won't take a guy that throws the ball around the plate as long as he has stuff. And this young man, obviously, with his 90-mile-an-hour fastball, but I've been very impressed, as you said, with his command. And he's done it in 2 pitches. I'm thinking he's going to break out some kind of breaking ball here pretty soon.
That one popped up. Not a lot of room in foul territory here. Veritek over, has room. Spencer's 0 for 2. You don't get many foul pop-outs here in Boston, especially around home plate. This ballpark, the friendly confines of Wrigley. Well, there are friendly confines here, too.
There's his curveball, the first pitch, and he comes back with a fastball that Finch was laid on, then a little cutter out in the way. So now that's 3 pitches. We did see the curveball. I thought it was a changeup the first pitch, but after seeing the replay, it was obviously that it was a big curveball.
Big curveball. Gets the out. He's got the Yankee hitters off stride a little bit right now, and Kerrigan, pitching coach, got to be liking this. Jorge Posada flied out his first time up. That one drilled down the line right field. Nixon over, play it on a hop. And the Yankees have their 4th hit. All of them, though, have been singles. And none of them have been leading off an inning. There's been no leadoff batter on because Rose has not walked anybody and has struck out 2. 1 out single by Posada.
The third baseman.
That'll bring up Scott Brocious. Brocious batting in the number 9 spot. Strikeout victim, 1 of 2 for Rose so far in the game. Timeout taken here as got to get rid of a piece of equipment down at first base. Jose Cardinal, runner's stuff, protective gear. He collected it and got rid of it.
He must have taken some out there with him.
He had enough for a rummage sale on that one. Now Brocious ready to go against Rose. And a pass ball for a strike. Rose has a 1-4 major league mark. It all came last year with the Red Sox making 8 starts as they tried to figure out what was wrong, as Ray mentioned earlier. He pitched while they were finding out he had the elbow problem. That one off the fists is going to fall in for a base hit. Brocious gets the single. Over to third goes Jorge Posada, and the Yankees have runners at the corners and 1 down.
Well, the Yankees, not knowing Brian Rose, have been out in front of the changeup, and here it is, a fastball inside, and Brocious just one-hands it out there, fighting it off. And that shows you what a good hitter does when someone shows the command of something soft. He sits back, waits on the ball, fights the fastball off so that he'll have a better chance to cover the changeup.
Now the Yankees get a chance to get on the board. Chuck Knobloch 1 for 2 with a single. Yankees trailing 5-0. 5 singles so far in the game. The Yankees have just struggled trying to get people home. Last night, 4 chances to drive in a runner from third with less than 2 out. Drove in only 1. Last 13 games, the Yankees have not done it. They've only driven in 5 of 17 with a runner at third and less than 1 out. Foul back. And a 1-ball, 1-strike count.
And what a difference a year makes in ball clubs. And here we are still in May, but this Red Sox ball club has shown a lot of the traits of the Yankee club, driving in runs with 2 outs, making every opportunity count. And the Yankees, as the Red Sox did last year, struggling to produce runs. A lot of different players in this Red Sox offense have made contributions.
Look to third, no throw to first. Posada at third, Brocious at first.
And I hate that play. I hate that play.
Most baseball fans hate that play.
Don't you hate that play?
I hate that play. About once a year it works, though.
I think it should be a balk.
You look to third, you can do that, step off the rubber, then if the runner at first is faked out, you turn and throw to first and get him picked off.
Well, there's a rule about deceiving the runner. That's the biggest deception.
Knobloch fouls it off, 1-2.
Biggest deception out there. You step toward third, the runner at first should be able to just take off. I mean, in a game where a left-hander steps toward first, he had better make a throw or it's a balk. But I brought that up 2 or 3 times, and nobody seems to listen.
Still haven't changed the rule.
And they're not going to.
Rose trying to get out of this 1-2. Knobloch has not hit into a double play this year. That's what Rose and the Red Sox want right here. With 1 down, runners at first and third. And Knobloch, will he? Garciaparra, Offerman. Oh, he does. Sometimes you bite the bear, Sometimes the big bite you. Rose works his way out of it. Boston still leads it 5-0. ESPN Wednesday Night Baseball. Yankees fifth fewest ground into double plays. However,
what happens when you make a good pitch? Fastball down with a little bit of sinking movement. Just perfectly hit to the shortstop, and then all you have to do is catch those. Catch him, flip it, and catch it.
Rose gets a little help on that one and gets out of the inning. Mendoza now, first full inning. He got the final out in the fourth. Garcia Perez single grounded out. Hideki Arabu, 3 2/3, 5 earned runs and 9 hits. Didn't walk anybody, struck out 2, and gave up a home run to Berkeley. Ouch. Roger Clemens, of course, is going to be coming off the DL tomorrow. The Yankees will get their rocket back. Some talk about him starting here in Boston in this series. The Yankees decided not to do that. They'll start him against Chicago. Foul, right?
And I think that's a smart move. With all the emotion that Roger has pitching here in Fenway, coming off an injury, it's best to let him get out of town and go out there, and he's going to be pumped up enough as it is.
O'Neill. Well, I said that tomorrow is Friday against Chicago. They've got another game in this series to be played here. So Garcia Perez retired, one away in the 5th inning.
Number 25.
Jimmy Williams making the decision to start Pedro Martinez in the first ball game, which I also agree with. Getting that first victory, pitching your best pitcher in the first game to try to send a message to the Yankees, obviously with first place.
And caught on the fly, no. Going to make the play at first. O'Leary retired, Knobloch got it. Boy, Martinez is putting on some kind of show, isn't he? The numbers he's putting up for Boston, incredible. As he's got an 8-1 record and a 1.89 earned run average.
He had been doing extremely well. Not blocked, staying back on the ball. Should have just come and got the ball in the air. Made a unnecessary throw in the way he's been throwing lately. You don't have to make that throw.
That's right.
But you mentioned Martinez. There's nobody in baseball. You talk about Schilling. I believe that the two most dominant pitchers, stuff-wise, are Pedro and Schilling, because of their fastballs at 95 and their devastating off-speed pitches.
2 down, nobody on. Jimmy Williams saying before the game a little concerned about the number of pitches already being thrown by Pedro Martinez. He's going deep into games, complete games, throwing a lot of pitches, getting there. He's such a competitor. He never wants to come out. As Williams said, look, we're trying to win every game. He's still throwing well, and I'm looking at hitters who can't hit him hard. I don't want to take him out.
Well, no way. And with a guy that wants the ball in the 9th inning, right? When I went to Cincinnati and became manager,
That's going to fall in for a base hit. Mike Stanley, a throw-out single.
I made a statement in spring training that I wanted all my starters to want the ball in the 9th inning. And that doesn't mean that you're going to have your starters going to 9 innings, but a lot of starters nowadays are just happy throwing 6 innings and taking a shower. And I don't think that's the right attitude. I believe that you should go out there and want the ball in the 9th inning, take your team there, and have that mindset.
Williams does too. We talked about that. He said, hey, what about the days and guys who should go out there and throw 160, 150 pitches every game on a 4-day rotation?
Right. It's become almost a joke to me, Gary, when I didn't realize how much pitch counts were looked upon with Major League pitching coaches until I became a manager. And, in spring training, everything was pitch count. 30 pitches the first outing, 45 the second outing, 60 the third outing. Regardless of how a guy was throwing, it didn't make any difference. I was always taught by my father and in the Reds organization, throw as much as you can, throw long toss, throw as much as you can, as long as you do it mechanically correct and throw soundly, your arm just gets stronger and stronger. And nowadays, I just think pitchers are baby too much. I think the Braves have the right idea, throwing 2 times when they're in between their starts, 1 day for velocity, another day for location. And as a result, you've seen
Line drive center field. Base hit in front of Williams. So the Red Sox 2 out. tonight he's 3 for 3 with a home run and 2 singles. 2 on, 2 down.
Finish that thought. You've seen starting pitchers go from 8 innings to 7 innings to 6 innings, and now an average major league pitcher just a little over 5 innings in his 30-35 starts a year, and to me that's big.
There's Brian Rose, who wants 9. Making his first start of the year for Boston tonight. He'll throw as hard as he can, as long as he can, and he hopes it'll be enough to get his second major league win. Red Sox looking to add to it here. They've got the 5-0 lead, 11 hits now. Lewis, a single, run scored his last time up. He's got a 6-game hit streak. As Darren Lewis has got an RBI opportunity here. Hey, Jimmy Williams made the point you did tonight, where he said a lot of it's mindset. Said pitchers today just believe they don't have to go deep into games, they don't have to throw complete games. That's the way they think when they pitch. They get a lead, it's 5 innings, they get a chance to win, they want out. Pitcher's taken down low, and a 1-ball, 1 strikeout.
Over my 20-plus years in major leagues, playing and coaching and managing, did a lot of research on pitch counts. And an average big league pitcher that's a 500 pitcher averages 15 pitches per inning.
That one shot towards third will be foul.
And you multiply 15 by 7, that's 105 pitches. So if you're having a great game and averaging 15 pitches an inning, they expect you out of here by the 7th inning because everybody's getting a 100 pitch count. And I remember Nolan would throw 19, 20 pitches an inning because he's pumping out there for a game. And he'd have a pitch count of 145, 150 in the 7th inning. You better not ask him to come out of the ball.
Stottlemyre threw that many too. He didn't want to come out of games, but he pitched for great years for the Yankees. Red Sox fans hooping and hollering here at Fenway. They get the Yankees 5-0 right now, and chance to add to it here. Lewis in the dirt, it's stopped by Jorge Posada, and Mendoza's pitch. 2 balls, 2 strikes. So you see the Red Sox tonight, 11 hits, and 5 of them have come with 2 outs.
That's the reason they're in first place. You look at their home run total, only 30. When you get those key 2-out base hits, that scores run.
Lewis trying to add one here, and he got it straight up to the base hit. Come around, Stanley. Williams will throw, and they hold him up. Bernie Williams got it in time, and the bases are loaded with 2 down. Williams came up with it in a hurry, and Mike Stanley, not a speedy base runner, held at third by Wendell Kim.
A lot of factors, how hard this ball's hit, how shallow Williams is staying, due to Lewis's lack of power and the speed. There of Stanley just getting to third base and running Williams with a very quick release. All you have to do is hit the cutoff man, I think, was the right decision. Although, with 2 outs and a 5-run lead, a lot of times you will force that, but right there he'd been dead.
The number 9 hitter, Trot Nixon now. And strike 1. Nixon, 240, with runners in scoring position for Boston. A little better than his overall average coming into this game. Chance for a big base hit here off Mendoza. Grounded down to first, foul ball. So he'll come back with a 2-strike count.
A lot of contact on Mendoza tonight. Last year, 10-2 record, performing all kind of duties for the Yankees. 6-1 and 9 starts with a 3.87, but on the season 10-2 with a 3.25, and they used him basically as a setup guy and in-long relief.
Third relief appearance this year. He has a nasty sinking fastball, slider, and a changeup. Stanley's on at third, single, Veritek, single at second, Lewis, single at first. All those coming with 2 down. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
He's got such nasty sink. Mendoza's got a lot of pitches just miss off the plate down that are almost impossible to hit.
2-2 Nixon down to first, slot made by Tito Martinez. Mendoza covers. And Nixon is retired. And so are the Red Sox. No runs, 3 hits. They leave, the bases loaded, and Mendoza works his way out of the
studios in back in Toronto. Tony Fernandez coming in had one career hit off Brian Moeller. It was a home run. In the sixth, he got his second career hit off Brian Moeller. A home run. Tied it at 3. Chance to have one back-to-back games in a month, and this one now 1 Encarnacion in the 7th. A 3-run blast is 4th. It's now 6-3 Tigers. Gary and Ray, back to you.
Thank you, Ray. Ball's flying out around Major League Baseball. The runs piling up. Colorado today, 24-12. Cincinnati beat them. Talk about a baseball jumping off bats. Wow. Very straight. I know it says Rose on the mound is getting it done. What a game he's pitching here. And it's called up from Pawtucket for this sky. 5 hits, 5 innings, all singles. Swung on and missed by Derek here. There isn't anyone around baseball that I know of who does not say there is no question that the baseball is wound probably doubly tight from what it was even 10 years ago.
Everybody that I talk to, especially coaches, and Nick Fundo.
The league continues to say no. They say they measure it, they put all those parameters on it. But everyone in baseball says the thing is hard as a rock. And this flies off that.
Tony Fernandez is not known in a home run here. I don't think he had 100 home runs yet. There he hits the ball 420 feet to center field. And I played against him as a young kid, as we see. Really good fastball that hammers Peter up and in. This kid can pitch. He can pitch. He moves the ball around, spots the fastball, throws the changeup.
Here's 1 for 2. Came back inside, just missed with that one.
Who did he miss at? What was that hit?
That was not where Larry Barnett wanted it. He's on play.
Let's look at it right here. Catcher got it hit right there. Little low, yeah. Good ball.
Good man, down to third. Valentin to stop. The throw. Nice stretch by Stanley to get the out.
John Valentin, I think, has been really underrated as a third baseman. Plays some shortstop, second base here, makes a good backhanded play, and then makes a good throw, great stretch. As you mentioned by Stanley.
Red Sox have kind of had to patch it together by position. Stanley over there at first base, primarily the first baseman. Offerman or Loney also played there. The Red Sox have had 3 or 4 people at virtually every position this year. Paul O'Neill up with 1 down. Jimmy Williams has had to manage. Asked Williams about that today. Said, hey, I have 13 position players out there. They're all here. I expect them all to be able to play. Well, I feel as though I need to get somebody out or somebody in. I make the move, and I don't worry about it. They're supposed to get the job done, and so far they have.
Fastball there, ball that hammers Larry right above the heart there. I mean, that first more you think you see is neck recoil. Men are tough, though.
See, a catcher does the right thing to get in good graces. Umpires went with a foul ball, so Veritek immediately goes up to the mound to rest Larry Barnett. So the next time Veritek gets hit, Barnett will sweep the home plate off. Hit for that, the guys in the cage at the end of the plate. That's the way you work together. 2-strike count, Paul O'Neill. Fastball up and in, 1 and 2.
Look at that, his fastball is now getting up to 92 miles an hour. You find it on the gun, the pitch that is up, is faster. I've heard other people say pitch down, but in spring training, the balls that are thrown up tend to get a better reading.
O'Neill looks at that one down and away. 2-ball, 2-strike count.
Talking about the baseball too, they talk about the stickers being flatter on the knee ball because the balls are harder, and as a result, with flatter stickers, you don't get as much movement. So there's all kind of theories going around, but
Jim Rice said throw it out there. And the pitch is taken away. 3-ball, 2-strike count. Red Sox hitting coach. Could hit a ball, whether it was wound tightly or not. Jim Rice pops him out of here.
boy, he's a sweet hitter. Just a pretty hitter. Everything soft, hit the ball hard, everywhere. You have an idea of the way a hitter stands at the plate and with great balance. Played against him, and he was playing in Bristol, Connecticut, our home base, in 1973, and I was in Brewers, Canada.
Wow. that Rose has had in the game, so obviously the first walk. And O'Neill gets it, but on down here in the 6th inning. So, one away. There's the baseball we're talking about. Pretty drilled for home runs over the past few seasons.
It looks bigger there.
It looks a lot bigger than when you're hitting, I'll tell you that much.
I never saw it look that big. It never looked that big to me.
One down. All these guys can hit it.
Number 9 right there, it looked pretty big to him.
Ed Williams, always tough to be fun year after year here in Boston. 2 down. That one is fouled back. Williams 0 for 2 in the game. Ted is watching tonight. We hope he is well. Ted's still around 1 down here. I think Ted gets around to some of the meetings here in Boston. Comes back to the baseball writer session, and obviously just a loved figure. The tunnel here, wherever, named after Ted Williams, now open here in Boston. Part of the big dig in the city. 1 strikeout. Our first base, 1 away. Bernie Williams won the batting title last year, 339 average, and he's picked it right back up again this season.
I had the privilege to meet Ted Williams 4 or 5 times in spring training, and always willing to talk hitting. Actually called me through a friend after the World Series in '86 and congratulated me, even though we beat his Red Sox. But a guy that always appreciated good hitting and good play and hard-nosed play.
Threw a couple of strokes here in recent years. Been tough for Ted, but he'll still talk baseball. 1 ball, 2 strikeouts. Switch hitter Bernie Williams. 372 right-handed, 308 left-handed. 4 home runs for Bernie. 3 of them have come from the left side this season. Yankees in need of a big hit. Down 5-0. Being out hit 12-5. Brian Rose looking for another ground ball. Trying to get 2. Foul off again off the fist, remains the ball in 2 strikes.
Well, I said early in the game, in the first 2 innings, New York was hitting the ball off the end of the bat, looking for too much on this young man's fastball. Now they're starting to foul balls off as they settle into realizing that he is not going to throw the ball by you, and his out pitch has been a changeup. So they're getting deeper in the count, seeing more pitches. This witness the first walk to O'Neill.
Rose with a 1-2 delivery to Williams. That ball was up, and he popped it up. Center field, Lewis. 2 down. Williams 0 for 3. Good after that pitch, I think.
He did, and what happens is the change of elevation. Brian Rose is throwing the pitches in different quadrants of the strike zone. This pitch, as you mentioned, up around shoulder high, not being able to get up on a fastball. But if you watch him throughout the game, he's throwing the ball in, out, up and down, change speed, vary the location of his pitch and the eye angle. And that's what makes a guy like Greg Maddux so effective. You don't have to throw 95 if you move the ball around all over the strike zone.
Rose is doing that. Strike taken, he got it down to Tino Martinez. Martinez 0 for 2, 4-game hit streak coming into this ball game for Tino Martinez. 123 RBIs, 6 in the league last year. Big RBI producer for the Yankees. 101st O'Neill, 2 down. Rose a fastball, fouled off, strike 2.
See, that's 2 pitches in the same spot. The first pitch had a little bit of movement on it like a cutter, and that pitch is straight fastball. But both of those pitches in the same spot. I would expect him right here to either go down underneath the plate with a changeup type pitch, or really busting off the plate inside to try to quicken his bat to set up the off-speed pitch. 1-2.
O'Neill not effective to go, small lead at first base. 2 down, 2 strike delivery. Jammed him again, fouled it off.
There's that slider. So he has 4 pitches now. The slider, the fastball, the big looping curveball that we've only seen twice. But watch this right here. He goes in there. You see him come out. And not a tough shot. Well, look at the tightness of this pitch right here. Just a slider or a cut fastball with real tight rotation on the inside part of the plate. I mentioned that earlier, how tough it is for a left-hand hitter to get that ball out of his kitchen. Kitchen being his handle, the handle of his bat, baseball jargon.
get it real inside, you go all the way into the pantry. It'll knock you right down. 2 strike out again. 21st pitch of the inning. He threw only 49 pitches through the first 5. So this has been the toughest inning for the 23-year-old Brian Rose. He still has the 2 down. Jimmy Williams doing a little pacing, talking to Joe Perry. See the signs being given by Williams here. Barrett takes the catcher. 1 ball, 2 strike count. O'Neill. Step off lead. Hit in the air, right center field. Lewis, center field. Over. Wants it. Makes it. Good play by Darren Lewis. This Red Sox team over the years noted for runs and home runs. Not a lot of pitching, not a lot of D. Since Jimmy Williams has taken over, they have transformed themselves into a pitching defensive ball club. Darren Lewis, rock it up.
ESPN Wednesday Night Baseball is brought to you by Lens Crafters, helping people see better 1 hour at a time.
We're back here at Boston. Red Sox leading 5-0. Darren Lewis makes that nice running play in the outfield. Here you're going to see the great jump. Barely in our screen there, but look at the quickness there. Getting your first jump on the ball, running probably about 50 yards to catch that ball. And then secondly, seeing the communication when he calls off Brock Nixon there as he sees that he got that ball gauged.
And Tino Martinez can't make the play on that one, and Offerman's on again. He led to second base, and Jose Offerman. 2 singles, a double, and 4 at-bats. Martinez made 1 great play down there, but this time it goes by for a double.
And he got there, the ball just took a hop with the overspin, and Offerman gets the top hand through this ball here. Fastball, you see the top hand coming over the top of that ball, and causes the ball to have overspin. Tino makes a dive, but the ball stays up, and hits off his glove for a double. 19th double, leading the league.
Leads them in doubles, leads them in triples. John Valentin. Valentin takes the strike. Merrill Mendoza on in relief. Arabu gave up 9 hits. Red Sox now have picked up 4 off Mendoza. The leadoff double by Offerman. Valentin's already got 2 RBIs with a big double in the 4th inning that knocked Hideki Arabu out of the ballgame. Now he's got a chance to add to it. Took something off that pitch, strike 2.
Took a lot off that pitch. 95 to 80. Change up and drop down a little bit too.
John Valentin had missed 3 games, knee injury. 1 time as a pinch hitter during that span of 3 games. Back in as a starter tonight. And it contributed. Fouls that one off. Valentin 2 for 3 with the 2 RBIs and a run scored. Valentin will check the bat on it here. 2 strike count.
Second hot block. Really shallow at second base, holding Offerman close. Offerman, as you mentioned earlier, with the 7 stolen bases, creating a big hole in the right side. And ideally in this situation, even though you have a 5-run lead, this run is huge, and this ballpark runs can disappear in a hurry. Look at the hole there. You see Martinez way off the line, but not blocked, cheating towards second and very shallow, so he routine ground balls through on that side.
Down to third base, Brocious over, looks Offerman back, and makes the play at first. So Valentin retired, 1 away. Easy play for Scott Brocious, as Offerman had nowhere to go. Reggie Jefferson now will try and get it done with a runner at second base. Red Sox leading at 5-0. Wanting to add to it here in the bottom half of the 6th inning. Jefferson and RBI and a ground ball out. Jefferson's got a 4-game hit streak going. 308 on the year. Towering shot. Center field. Williams up. Going home. Here comes the throw. Offerman to the plate. He's dead. What a throw by Brady Williams. Right on the money. Jose Offerman had no chance. Jorge Posada was standing there with a baseball. And 3 steps away was Offerman.
Well, nobody charges the ball better than Bernie Williams, and he comes in just like an infielder.
center fielder, Bernie Williams.
He's got no chance to get in there. That ball beat him, but it tipped like a middle linebacker. Said, come on in here.
Catchers love those throws. Jefferson will be credited with a single. He goes down to second on the throw. Bernie Williams with the assist in the outfield. Now Garcia Parra. And the pitch taken inside. Offerman's had a tough go of it. Thrown up by Paul O'Neill in right field last night. Gets thrown out by the center fielder, Bernie Williams. Play here again tomorrow. Maybe make his way to left. Mendoza's pitch strike on the inside corner. Garcia Parra didn't think so.
No, that left field was too short to be sitting anybody.
There's Jose. He got on. He gave it a run. He was way through. I mean, he saw the sign, kept on coming. Right field. With two down, O'Neill settles under it, and that'll do it. Garcia Parra retired. Red Sox no runs, a couple of hits, right runner left on. At second base, who's completed 6 at Fenway. Welcome back, everybody. As the Red Sox have a 5-0 lead after 6. Take a look at our Red Roof Inn pitching summary. It's not been a good one for the Yankees so far in this game. Lucky Rabu was their starter. He is the pitcher of record, getting up those 5 earned runs on 9 hits over just 3 2/3. The other side of it, first start of the year, Brian Rose called up from AAA for the Red Sox. A chance to get his second Major League win, first of the year. Has done a great job. 1 walk, that's it. A couple of strikeouts. And Rose goes back to work here. Billy Davis will lead it off for the Yankees, and the pitch is up high for a ball. 23-year-old. These kind of numbers. Just getting it done a different way.
Hey, yeah, you can see those strikeout pitchers always with a high pitch count.
The tail on that one down and away from the left-hander. 1 ball, 1 strike. David Buford has gone to play in center field for the Red Sox. David Buford, great speed. And Darren Lewis moves over into right field for Trot Nixon. So Jimmy Williams shoring up the defense a little bit. Finally, the Red Sox have outfielders where they're supposed to be. Last couple of years, they've had to play people out of position because of a lack of personnel. This year, they got Buford on the bench, chance to come up with great speed in defensively, and O'Leary in left. Lewis would play center and right, and that's what he's doing here in this game. But that gives Williams a little wiggle room, a little defensive help off the bench late in the game, some solid outfield for the starters. 1 ball, 2 strike down on Davis. Rose gets the chopper to first base. Stanley will take it himself. 1 away on the second elsewhere with Trey Wingo. Trey.
Gary, a fairly hot team playing the A's and Royals. 3rd inning, 2-1 Oakland. Jermaine die-off. Tom Candiotti hits one in the left that Tony Phillips can't quite get a handle on. Jeff King and Mike Sweeney both win the score. It's now 4-2 KC. The Royals have won 8 of their last 11. Gary and Ray, back to you.
Very luck KC. Very tough start. 1 down here, nobody on. We have Shane Spencer, who's gone 0 for 2. Well, the Red Sox have to move their lineups all over the place. The Yankees generally have a very stable lineup, except this position, left field. Curtis, Leday, Spencer, Bellinger have all played left field. Had Curtis had been starting, Spencer getting his chance now. The Yankees continue to look for somebody to come up and take the job. There is Chad Curtis back on the bench for this one. And the short. Oh! Garcia. Yeah. Light him up.
You make this play by taking grandma after grandma after grandma off the bat and live BP. Staying down a rocket, one of the toughest plays to make. Ball hit right at you. Fortunately to his glove hand side. Garcia Parra making the play look easy.
One of those do or don'ts. You get 1 chance on that ball. Run up, break your jaw if you don't. If you blow it up your arm. 2 down. Well, the Red Sox go away here in the 7th, helping out Brian Rose in the start with some good defensive play. Jorge Posada, 1 for 2.
players take ground ball from your coaches. I was watching the part of the day, taking ground balls off the bat.
And that's going to be a base hit down the line. Chase into the corner, Lewis, and he'll hold him to a single. They shot on the second hit with 2 down here in the 7th.
Great job there by the defense cutting that ball off. One thing Jimmy Williams does, being with that Atlanta ball club, he was always in charge of the defense. And I thought that Atlanta Braves played the best defense as we look at a swing of Posada getting his second base hit. And as that ball should be a double, but with the defense shading for pull, Aaron Lewis gets over there and makes a very fine play. A lot of times that ball will rattle in the corner, but again, Jimmy Williams was ahead of the defensive charts in Atlanta, and I thought that they played the best defense because they set the pitching, the defense up to the pitching, and the pitching pitched it to the teeth of the defense, and they still do it, and he's doing that right here on the left side.
Good off-speed pitch. There's that changeup again. And he's got the Yankees swinging at that changeup that's out of the strike zone. He goes ahead of Brocious now at 2-strike count. Runner on at first base. Red Sox 5-0 lead. 7th inning. Brian Rose, 1 walk, 2-strike count. Full house crowd at Fenway, applauding for another K.
That's his best fastball. He started off at 88 miles an hour tonight. He's right around 90 most of the time, and that pitch 93 miles an hour. And we look at the movement on it. Movement into the right-handed hitter, forcing Brocious to fight the ball off the other way.
Again, 2-strike delivery. Looks like he must be throwing both the 2 and the 4 seamer because against Philly Davis, against a left-hander, we saw he had a pitch tailing down and away, and then he comes back in on a right-handed Brocious and gets one coming into him. That's usually a 2-seam and 4-seam fastball because they go in those different directions. A pretty good assortment. 85th pitch coming up in this game for Brian Rose. 1 ball, 2-strike count. Runner off first. Hit him. Posada will get down to second base. Brocious hit by a pitch to first.
He tries to make a fastball pitch in on Brocious' ball, just gets away from him. If you've noticed, he has not thrown a lot of pitches inside. Most of his pitches have been away as the Red Sox bullpen gets active and Joe Carrigan pitching coach goes to the mound.
They are just becoming active in the bullpen because Rose kind of cruised along. Bear in mind, he did have his highest pitch count in the last inning. Now Guthrie and Horsey are up. We'll have to hurry up and get ready. The last outing for Brian Rose, he appeared here in relief against Tampa Bay back on April 8th and went back down to AAA where he was 2-1 with Pawtucket in 5-game starts. He won his last start on May 11th. So they held him out of his last start at AAA a couple of days ago because they were concerned that they were going to have to get him up here. So he's had a little extra rest. But in a little trouble right here. Go to the top of the order now block. Back now block. 2 on and 2 down. Now block 1 for 3. The Yankees continue to look for that big hit. Just missed with the fastball, 1-1.
Part of defensive alignment for Williams. Look at Darren Lewis in right field, very shallow. That shot, can't really see how shallow he is, but if you look at the foul pole down there, that's only about 290 feet away, and he's right there, very shallow in right field.
1 ball, 1 strike with 2 down. Foul back. Of all the Yankee hitters with runners in scoring position this year, Knobloch, far and away the best. 471 coming into this game.
with runners in scoring position compared to a 275 overall average. So when given the chance, Knobloch's the man who's gotten it done for. With the heart of the order waiting for O'Neill Williams, there are 2 down. Rose does not want to go any deeper here in this inning.
And with 2 strikes, the Central moves to the right field side of second base, indicating he's going to probably try to go away with it.
3 strikeouts for Rose, and Sox fans are up. Three-year-old Brian Rose strikes out Knobloch. Yankees lead 2-on. And to catch GM here in Boston, maybe on the phone, trying to line up financing for the new Fenway Park that's been proposed by the Red Sox. Been involved in it. We'll tell you about that here as we get a chance. O'Leary up. An RBI single in the first inning. He's 1 for 3. He's got a 5-game history. Red Sox lead at 5-0. And he pops that one up outside of first base. Pino Martinez. O'Leary retired. 1 down in the 7th. The Red Sox unveiled a couple of days ago the proposal for this new ballpark. It's a $545 million project that would include 100 new luxury suites. The ballpark would be built behind where the current Fenway Park is, and they would keep the current Fenway outfield area, including the Green Monster, as part of a park that you see in the upper left part of the screen there. It would be a public park. That one drilled right center field. Not far enough, though. And it'll be hauled in. Stanley retired. O'Neill hauls it in, 2 down. A couple of questions, of course. One is, what about the people who own the buildings up behind here? They say they don't want to give them up, saying they have to use eminent domain to take them over. The other thing, who's going to pay for it? The Red Sox say they'll pay for the park. It's about $385 million, but there's another $200 million that's going to be covered for the roadway, for construction of the parking areas, that sort of thing. That's got to be worked out. They're going to add 12,000 new seats and only 300 new parking places. Another problem. So they want more public transit outlets coming to Fenway. But a long way to go. The problem the Red Sox face is the groups that don't want Fenway torn down were gaining momentum. And so the Red Sox hired a public consultant who represented Michael Dukakis in the presidential race to represent them, John Sasso. And Sasso said, you guys better get with it and get out in front of this. So they did, made a proposal now to try and gain public support and, more importantly, political support. Down the right field line, home run! In the infamous right field corner of Fenway Park, Jason Veritek has had it for the night. He is 4 for 4 with 2 home runs and 2 singles. He does not want Fenway torn down.
There's a lot of hitters that don't want Fenway torn down. You look at that right there. I'd say about 290. I don't know if it's 290 right there in the corner. He's never really got any fighter to come out and say what it truly is. But Jason just making sure the ball stays fair. This is basically a 270-foot pop-up down the right field line. That's rewarded by contour of the ballpark. As a minute, he talked about how they're going to arrange the outfield, or is there going to be a wall there?
They're going to keep much of the structure of Fenway that it looked like the old Fenway. They'll keep the Green Monster. Veritek, 2 home run game. Second time he has done that. It is also the first time he has had a 4-hit ball game. 4 for 4. Jason Veritek. That infamous right field corner, of course, for the short porch home runs is always talked about. But there are not that many home runs hit on that corner.
I think I've seen 2. Lane Dykstra hooked one down there in 86, and this is the second one that I've witnessed. But you can almost throw the ball from home plate that far.
And
you can.
I can, yeah. And then
once you get out beyond that short porch in a hurry, it gets deep, 380 to the bullpen out there in far away right field. So you don't have a lot of room to get a short home run. That one hit down to first base. Martinez will play it. And that will retire Lewis and the Sox. But 7th inning, the Red Sox add to it as their catcher. Jason Varitek has a 4-for-4 game and loves the short porch at Fenway because that's where that wins.
Trey Wingo in the Baseball Tonight studio. The Orioles were 1 out away from their 6th straight home win when Mike Timlin served it up to Andy Sheets with 2 on. Goes to the wall on the play. Both Troy Glaus and Orlando Palmeiro score. It's now 5-4 Angels, bottom of the 9th. Gary, back to you.
Well, I'll tell you, the Orioles, even when they get it going right, it doesn't last as their struggle continues. And they blow one there. There's Jason Varitek, 27 years old. We told you he'd been platooning with Hatterberg at the catching position. Hatterberg's on the DL. So Varitek's going to catch most of them now. What a way to kick it off here as a regular with a 4-for-4 game, 2 home runs. Wow.
Last year, remember the controversy when Jimmy Williams told Varitek in spring training that he would be the platoon catcher, and Jimmy Leyritz subsequently made a big fuss of it, traded.
Now Mark Guthrie is on. So the Red Sox starter, the rookie, 23-year-old Brian Rose out of there. Guthrie on in relief. A 6-0 lead for Boston. And a chance for Rose to get his first win of the year, Major League level, second Major League win ever. Derek Jeter against the left-hander. Jeter's 1 for 3 in the ballgame.
Mark Guthrie acquired actually as a free agent. Pitched for the Dodgers last year, did a great job for the Dodgers in 53 ball games. 3.50 earned run average. Very good against the first hitter he faced.
Jeter arguing with Larry Barnett about the outside strike that time as it takes the count to 1-2. Barnett's had a couple look back at him from both teams. Yankees need base runners here, so Jeter trying to find a way on. Guthrie with a delivery in the dirt on that one. 2-ball, 2-strike count. Not a lot of at-bats for Jeter against left-handers, 6 for 28, but he has had 2 home runs off southpaws so far this year. Guthrie trying to hang on now to this lead. We're in the 8th inning. Red Sox would love to have the youngster Rose come away with a victory in this call-up start. 2-2, missed inside, 3-2.
Guthrie throws a lot of breaking balls, curveball, sliders, fork ball, fastballs that have a lot of sink to it. Walked 24 people last year in 54 innings, so prone to walking a lot of people.
Off the fists and fouled off. See the difference right here early on, Ray, between Guthrie and Rose, the type of pitchers they are. I mean, only 1 walk surrendered by Rose, and he only had 1 count where he had 3 balls. Here you see Guthrie, first batter. He's got the 3-2 count, but he's going to try and finesse it.
Yeah, he's a nibbler, a finesser, a nibbler, a guy that just doesn't want to throw the ball over the plate.
Wants you to hit his pitch out of the strike zone. 3-2 coming again to Jeter. And he struck him out. And Jeter didn't like that one either.
Well, he comes back with a fastball after all those breaking balls, and the ball's pretty much right there. Jeter looking away hard. That ball just gets in underneath his eyes and looked as if it was inside to him because he was looking so hard away. Pretty good pitch.
There are the numbers for Brian Rose, pitcher record for Boston. A great start. 1 walk, 3 Ks, 6 hits, all singles. O'Neill against the lefty, strike 1. Paul O'Neill has really struggled against left-handers so far, hitting 146. He's 6 for 41. Does have 1 home run off left-handers. O'Neill, like many of the Yankees, in a current funk at the plate. The Yankees have dipped down offensively to 8th in average and 9th in runs, and it's starting to rain. They're going to try and play through this because once this rain starts, the weather forecast is it's going to last all night. It's blowing in from the west, so they're going to try and get this done. We are in the 8th inning. A 6-0 Red Sox lead. That one in the dirt. 2-ball, 2-strike count. Guthrie is not the kind of guy you want on the mound if you're trying to hurry your way through the rain.
No, he's not.
I don't mean that negatively towards him. It's just the way he pitches.
No, right. And there are a lot of guys that way. He takes his time. He's only used throughout his career for basically 1 inning. A lot of times just to face a couple of left-handed hitters.
Not a lot of room here for the 32,091 to hide. Every seat's full. Standing room as well. Trying to move back out of the rain is probably going to take you all the way back to the car. Especially in the 8th inning. 2-2 delivery. And O'Neill bloops that one to left field. That's going to fall in for a base hit. So Paul O'Neill gets a 1-out single. Let's go to a place that's not as damp as Fenway. Trey Wingo.
Oh, Gary, well, nothing's damp in Florida either. The Cubs bullpen, a 6.03 ERA, second worst in the majors, and this is why. Felix Heredia taken for a ride by Cliff Floyd, his 4th of the year at 7-6 Marlins. Might they break their 10-game losing streak at home?
Cubs have lost their closer, Rod Beck, gone on the DL, maybe for a long time. He's got an elbow problem, maybe chips in there. He's going to try and play through, but that may require surgery. Hard shot to second base, gobbled up Offerman. Relay, hey, got not the out at first. Pretty close play on the quick pivot. It'll be fielder's choice. Williams reaches at first. Had to regroup on that one.
Well, when you have a ball hit that hard, it's usually an automatic double play. But watch Bernie Williams running full tilt out of here, and just a little lax right there. Garcia Parham making the throw, and he does tie it. Maybe.
Maybe.
What are you frowning about?
Jimmy Williams looking like, hey, come on, we had him. Greg Kosk at first said no.
Also telling Stanley to move off of him at first base. 2 outs, 5-run lead.
Tino Martinez, Williams on it first. In the dirt by Guthrie. All these left-handed Yankee batters. That's why Guthrie's on in this situation. See Martinez. Strong numbers against southpaws. Reverse of what you might expect so far this year. And he puts that one to right field, backing up on it, Lewis. He's got room in the rain. No runs, the base hit. 1 left on. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning at Fenway. The Red Sox trying to take 2 in a row over the Yankees, have the 6-0 lead. Welcome back, in our Kelly Tires highlights feature this man, Brian Rose. 11th career appearance, 10th start. First time he is not allowed to run at the major league level in an appearance, and he got help. Veritek, 1 home run. Veritek, 2 home runs. And our Kelly Springfield Tires key plays of the game, pitching and hitting. And the Red Sox, as a result, have a 6-0 lead as the umbrellas go up here at Fenway. Gary Thorne, Ray Knight, and our crew here in Boston. Red Sox winning last night. Now they'll go after the 3rd Yankee pitcher, Jay Tesmer, out of the bullpen. Submarine thrower and the strike in on Damon Buford up for the first time.
Pretty heavy drops.
Pretty heavy drops. Got it in. Left field. It's raining pretty good. This is a tough play here in the raindrops. And pop-ups and fly balls. Spencer puts it away. Buford retired. 1 away in the 8th inning. They're just going to keep on playing.
Yeah, and managers don't really say much here, but as a ball player, you want to go up there and hack at the first pitch. I mean, this is one time that you put your own situation behind you, and you go up there and you get this game out of the way. And the last thing you want to do is go into that clubhouse and sit for an hour and
use up another pitcher or 2.
Right.
Jose Offerman, big night. 2 singles, double, runs scored, 3 for 4. Offerman's now up to 348. Leading the league in doubles and triples. My God. In the leadoff spot, creating lots of run chances. Jose Offerman. You got to believe he's not going to be able to keep these kind of numbers going all year, but folks, he's got a lot of room to let it drop off and still have a great year. And a strike in. Switch hitter, 325 right, 342 left. 1 home run has come from this side of the plate for Offerman. This is when the guys behind the cameras earn their dollars. Offerman very late on that one, 2-2.
Well, I remember when Offerman came up with the Dodgers as a shortstop, and there was never any doubt about him hitting or running. He ran extremely well. He's lost a little bit of his foot speed, but he didn't play a very solid major league shortstop due to his throwing arm. Made a lot of errors and a lot of bad decisions on the ball.
Yankees had Dodgers rather had to take him out of that spot. It was so bad at short defensively. And he's really a player without a position. He's not a designated hitter type. He doesn't have a real position to play. Second base is as close as it gets. And that's where he is. That's what you were talking about, Ray. Maybe give yourself up a little here. He is the second out. Offerman retired. Want to remind you, most comprehensive program on television about baseball is Baseball Tonight. You will see it 10 o'clock and midnight coming your way tomorrow. That's Eastern Time. Ray is sometimes there for Baseball Tonight.
I'm going to be there the next 3 days.
You are?
Yes, I am.
All right. I may have said 2. There's 1 out here. Oh, there are 2 outs. Sorry. Believe myself, not the scoreboard. Kazmir getting the strikeout, grounded down to third. Scott Brocious go to first. And that will retire John Valentin. So the Red Sox go 1-2-3 in the 8th inning. Yankees will be coming up top of the 9th, trailing this ball game 6-0.
ESPN Wednesday Night Baseball is brought to you by Beck's, the best of what Germans do best, and by Lowe's Home Improvement Warehouse. When it comes to improvement, Lowe's knows.
Welcome back, everybody. Trying to work this one through the rain. Get her done. It's raining. Our American General Financial Services game summary. It's been all Boston. 6-0, 15-7 in the hit department. Yankee went through 5 hitters, 3 for 19. Red Sox, Rose, the starter, called up from Pawtucket to do it. Has got a chance to get his 2nd major league win. Varitek, a career 4 for 4 game, 2 home runs. 2nd time he's had a 2 home run ball game. And it is pouring, and they're going to call it. We are going to have a rain delay in the 9th inning. And you really almost have to do this because it's raining so hard, it now becomes dangerous for the players to try and continue playing baseball in this weather.
Well, you really do. It becomes a treacherous situation right at the beginning of a hard rain, especially on ballparks that are clay. It becomes very slippery on top before it becomes sticky, and that's where you pull muscles and hurt people, and the pitching mound gets very slippery and difficult to play the game the way it's supposed to be played. And although everybody wants to go home, you've got to stay here and let the weather take care of itself.
So almost getting this one in. Obviously an official game was called. Red Sox win it. They will wait at least an hour and a half, though. That's required before they can call the game. We have a second half of our doubleheader coming up, of course, from the West Coast tonight. We will be going to that if we should be sitting around in rain here. We're also going to go back to the studios to update you on all the day's action in baseball. So lots to come here for you baseball-wise. But, folks, it is pouring. I mean, it is really coming down. They're going to struggle to get the tarp on in time here. There are already puddles on the infield, especially around first base. If you don't get the tarp on in time to prevent that, then you're really in trouble. And it just started coming so hard here at the top of the 9th inning that the grounds crew, the Red Sox ground crew, not much they could do about it. time they got it rolled out there, the water was standing on the infield. This is the big storm that rolled through the Midwest here over the last 2 days. Spawned tornadoes and all kinds of rain and flooding. It's been raining in New York all day. Storm kind of went north and around the Boston area. Now it's blown back east, and here it is. So while they put it on, we'll remind you this copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Commissioner of Major League Baseball. May not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent. Pitcher of record for the Yankees is Arabu. He could lose this one and go 1 and 2, 3 2/3, 5 runs and 9 hits in that short span. Brian Rose, the starter up from Pawtucket today, no runs, 6 hits over 7. He stands to be the winner. So, folks, it's a rain delay at Fenway. With Ray Knight, we're going to have a couple of hot dogs, a cup of coffee, a little adult beverage after, and maybe we'll come back. Trey Wingo.
All right, Gary, thanks. Save a hot dog.
Out there, and the Reds will try and wrap up their second consecutive win. I thought it was going to rain all night.
Yeah, I did too. That stuff got here in a hurry and it left in a hurry. But the way they talked all day long, that there was rain in the area and it kept blowing away from us. And then they said it was raining on the border and it's raining in New York. And all of a sudden it stopped raining and looks like we might be able to play.
Here's the game summary. As it's been all Boston with the 6-0 lead, they've out-hit the Yankees 15-7. Hideki Arabu, the starter, a tough start. He gave up the 5 earned runs, 9 hits, in just 3 2/3. 1 through 5 hitters not getting it done. Boston continues red hot. Their starter, Brian Rose, first start, called up from Pawtucket. Second appearance for the Red Sox this year. A very solid 6 singles off him. That's it in 7 innings. He's out of the ball game now. Varitek, a career night. First 4-for-4 game he's ever had, including his second 2-home run ball game. A victory by the Boston Red Sox here tonight will move them up a game and a half on the Yankees, and they will have won 12 out of their last 15 games. Ray, one of the things you learn in baseball and all sports really as you go along, the games right now matter as much as the games that come up at the end of the year in that W column. So if the Red Sox can do a number on the Yankees in this series, matters now as it will then.
Well, it certainly does, Gary, and also is a 2-game swing. Every time they win a ball game, it's a 2-game swing. By that, if the Yankees had won tonight, they'd have been a half a game ahead, and by losing, they're going to be a game and a half behind. So that's a 2-game swing. And but you get a Red Sox ball club that's really playing solid baseball, not hitting any home runs. We've mentioned only 30 home runs all year long, 32 now with Varitek's 2 dingers, but playing great defensively and getting outstanding pitching. And tonight, this young pitcher, Brian Rose, comes in and pitches a well of a ball game and adds to an already very solid Red Sox staff.
You may have another look-see before Rose gets sent down again. The other side of it for the New York Yankees, the Yankees, if they lose this one, will have lost 7 of their last 8. And most amazingly, the pitching staff, the starters, have faltered.
Yeah, El Duque is almost a 6 earned run average. There you see the 593 is indicative of all starters except for David Cone. Everybody's pitched horribly. Nobody's been very consistent. Mendoza was outstanding early, now is relegated to bullpen duty, has struggled with his starting, but they're going to be a much better ball club very quickly when Roger Clemens come back and they get Nelson back, and they're going through a tough time right now, but I still think they're the class of this division, and the Red Sox, although they're playing very well right now, I think the Yankees have enough firepower to come back and play these last 100 and so ball games and be on top.
Long way to go. Red Sox just hope they're going to make it to the postseason again, of course, be it via a division championship or the wild card spot as they did last year. So we'll keep you up to date on what's going on here at Fenway Park in Boston. Right now they're taking the tarp off. Red Sox still have that 6-0 lead. We'll take you back to the man who's got all the other baseball, Trey Wingo. Trey?
All right, Gary, Ray, thanks a lot. Just a reminder that trail mix is probably better for you in the long run than those hot dogs anyway. All right, that's what's going on in Boston. Quick, let's update you on everything going on in the American League.